In Bear Gulch, Montana, the mine that holds Ole's gold is buried somewhere under a mountain of rubble. The Dale brothers have identified 3 places where the entrance might be. But for bookkeeper Tad, guesswork isn't good enough.
Mining is an expensive proposition. You can't go in this blind. You can't say, well, I've got a hunch it's over there. We need to know exactly where that is.
Tad heads to Civilization to find clues at the largest archive of mining records in the state.
Montana Tech is our alma mater, and we can get some help on finding that old number 5 portal. We're opening up an old adit at the Pete and Joe mine, and so we've got some maps, but I know we don't have it all, so I'm trying to put those pieces together.
We've got a fair amount on the Pete and Joe.
I see that.
It's kind of a trip in the candy store here.
Yeah, all right. This one's 1926. This is a great map here because it shows the workings over on the Pete and Joe. 5 is the one, so it'd be right in here where we're looking for. Yeah, that's a dandy. I'm gonna have to get copies of that one. When I retired, I had 42 years in the mining business. We all have had successful careers and have been in positions of leadership in mining, but I'm the only one out of my brothers that have had my own mining operation. So I know what it's like to be on your own dime and have to fund everything. You lay awake at night wondering how you're going to get your bills paid, and when it's on your own dime, you are more frugal. You have to be.
According to the map, the Pete and Joe number 5's portal is 75 feet from the workshop. Tad recruits his younger brothers, Paul and Kit, to see if it's right.
We got to pinpoint that adit that we need to dig out based on that old map. So let's start here and see where 75 feet takes us. $72.45.
That's 75 right there?
It is.
I wouldn't say there's anything that's a dead giveaway, but let's sample this dump then.
If the map is accurate, sampling the dump directly below should produce traces of gold. Youngest brother Kit suits up for the job.
It's been a long time since I did anything on a rope. Hope your rope is good, Tad.
Well, that's Rick's rope.
That's not reassuring. I think I can do it.
The human fly.
I'm just the human fly.
You're doing good so far there.
Send the bucket down. I am the 6th son born to Richard and Alice Dale. I was born 1960. My dad loved mining. That was his thing. We would go to Bear Gulch, it seemed like every weekend, to explore. This claim and that claim, the B&H and the Pete and Joe. And so I came out of childhood in love with the idea of mining. That just by your own sheer will and physical effort, you could produce some more and maybe even become wealthy. But for me, it's not the gold, but the finding it. That's the thing.
Well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, you got quite a few pounds here.
Okay, what next? Go to the chipmunk?
Yeah, let's go down to the crusher and work these up.
With samples in hand, Tad heads back to base camp, where oldest brothers Rick and John are ready to test the evidence.
Hey, you ready to run some sample?
Yeah.
Let's process some of them and get them ready for assay. We took random sites on the number 5 dump. And once it's all ground up, that should be representative of that particular spot. Hey, no problem. Okay, let's pull that sample and we'll pan that. Okay, let's go down here by the creek.
We all drank this water when we were kids. Remember we had picnics right there at the Pete and Joe cabin?
Yeah. Remember sometimes Mom would make Kool-Aid.
As Dad would say, a nice cream on there.
Yeah.
One of the great motivations for this whole effort is to validate what my grandfather believed and my dad and mom believed, and really all the family in the previous generations believed about the Pete and Joe, but couldn't do anything about it because they didn't own it. So as we combine our education and the things we've learned through our careers to this, we're hoping that we can really do right by our parents and our grandparents and follow the dream that they had and make it real.
Yeah, we're getting close here. There. Huh? What's that? That's a piece of gold.
Well, having gold in that pan tells us we're on the right track, we're in the right stuff. There's gold present. That's the first step.